right. Looks like it's just about time to get started. Thank you everyone for joining. My name is Cory. I'm a trainer here with Megamation, and welcome to the latest in our webinar series. Today we're going to talk about AI features within DirectLine. Sorry about that. We're going to talk about AI features within DirectLine. We've got we've got about a 35 to 40 minute runtime for this webinar when we did it last week, so it won't take up too much of your time. When we're done, I am recording this this webinar, so at the end I will send out a link to the recording to everyone who joined, everyone who's on the attendance record, and then you can share that with anyone who was maybe not able to join, or anyone who you think might be interested. All right. I just realized I didn't correct the spelling mistake on the first slide. So where are we currently using AI? Obviously not in spelling. We're using AI only in the places where it makes sense and where we feel it will provide value for our clients. So one of those things, and probably the biggest one and the first one we put in, is AI checklist generation. So we're using AI tools to generate maintenance checklists. If you're already using checklists within DirectLine and you've set some of them up, you know that it can be kind of time consuming to set them up. They're a fantastic tool once they're set up, once they're in there, but getting them set up can be a little time consuming. So using the AI tools to generate those checklists makes it a little bit more efficient to get your checklists in and your PM program running efficiently. The second place we're using it is a tool called Help Me Fix This. It's on the DirectLine Mobile, and it assists technicians by analyzing work descriptions and suggesting troubleshooting steps. Now, it's a tool that is not going to be perfect, but it's designed to help when you have a new problem or even a new employee where you just need kind of something to get you started. You need an idea of some steps to get your troubleshooting moving. And I'm going to take you through both of these features. I'm going to show you some details on how they work. If you have any questions, please post them in the Teams chat. I've got Matt White is here, and he'll be passing the questions on to me at our designated question points. Some of these features you may have available in your current system, and some of them you may not. If they're not available in your current system, just you can let us know, and we can get your account manager to reach out to you if it's a feature you feel like will be useful for you. So the first thing is the AI checklist generation. So the AI checklist generation is there to improve the efficiency of creating checklists by generating a baseline for you. So what it does is it gives you a baseline checklist where you can then edit that checklist. So we use two AI agents. They each will use they'll each use the information you give them. So equipment details, manuals if you have them, and web searches to create a maintenance checklist. And then you can have those two AI agents compare their result and give you a baseline based off of those results. You can give it as much data or as little data as you want to work with. So we give it I've generated a couple, and I'm gonna show you here. The more information you give it, the more comprehensive your checklist is going to be. But you can give it something as simple as give me a generic monthly maintenance checklist, and it will give you something. It might be too generic for you, but it will give you something. You can give it just the name of the equipment, and it'll give you something as close as it can get to an accurate checklist. When you create the checklist, you're going to see you have opportunities to improve on what the AI gives you, to remove anything that AI put in that you don't feel like should be there. So you're creating a baseline, or you're generating a baseline with AI, and then you're going to fine tune it before you use it. So on the checklist definition entry screen, which which you should all have in your system, the checklist definition entry screen, we've added this AI baseline checklist button in the top right-hand corner. And you'll notice this little icon right here, this yellow and blue icon, that is our AI icon. So anytime you are anytime you see that icon, you know that there's AI involved. Right now, you're only going to see it on the checklist, and you're going to see it on the Help Me Fix This tool, but you may see it as we find more useful places for AI. So when we select that AI baseline checklist button, it's going to take us to this AI checklist generator window. So here's the information that we can give the AI in order to generate our checklist. So we can start, or we can add the equipment information. So if we're generating a checklist for a specific piece of equipment, we can put that equipment information in here. So we have a search button. We can use our regular equipment search. We can it can give us the, or we can have the manufacturer, we can have the model number, the description. That information can all be put in here. If it's not an equipment entry that you already have in the system, or an asset that you already have in the system, you can just enter in manufacturer, model, and description into the checklist generator. So if it's an asset that you're getting, but you don't have it yet, so you don't have it set up in your system, you can still generate the checklist. Checklist type, you can set the frequency. So you can say, this is a monthly checklist for my heat pump unit, or it's the annual checklist for my heat pump unit. You can choose what types of entries you have on your checklist. So if you've set up checklists before, you know that we have different task types: pass, fails, yes, no, min, max, manual inputs, dates and times. You can choose from those which ones you want on your checklist. So if you want your checklist to just show you only pass, fails, you can make your checklist and make the AI use only pass, fail questions, or only pass, fail tasks. Or you can do like I did here and put all of them. I usually leave out the date and time, only because I didn't want to put those into my example, so I left those out. Checklist type, I have it set here on preventive maintenance, but you could also create different types. Maybe it's a general maintenance, maybe it's a pre-flight check type checklist. Things like that. You can choose the type, so the AI knows what type of checklist to generate. Down at the bottom, we have agent criteria. So we've got two agents. We have two agents. We can select to use one, or we can say to use both, and we can choose whether we want it to be comparative or not. Meaning, comparative would be where it's going to take the checklists from both agents and combine them by only adding the tasks that both agents gave us. So I generated two checklists. One, I filled out the equipment information and the frequency and included types, and I generated my checklist with that. And the next one, I actually, on the next screen, we have the ability to upload the manual. So then on the next one, I uploaded a manual because I wanted to show you what it looks like depending on what information you put into the on what information you give to the AI. So this one here on the left-hand side, I just have my equipment information, right? It's got the description, it's got the manufacturer, the model, and my maintenance frequency of monthly. It pulled all of that from that first page. Down in the associated PDF file, I could have added a manual, but I did not. I just hit generate checklist. On the second one, over here on the right, exact same information, but I did add a manual. I just went to the manufacturer's website. I downloaded a manual and attached it and hit generate checklist. And it gave me two different checklists. And my point here is to show you where I said you can give it as much or as little information as you want. Well, here's the two checklists that were created. On the left-hand side, when we created it without the manual, this is the information that it gave us. So it's the checklist is probably a little bit more generic. It didn't have a manual. It didn't have a manual to work from, so it gave us kind of some generic checks for our multi-zone air handler. Over on the right-hand side, this one I generated with the manual. So we have more specific things, right? Test the drain pump, test the condensate, inspect refrigerant piping. We've got we have specifics based off what information was in the manual, what components the AI can see this unit has from the manual. So that's what it looks like when we generate the checklist. And here's the step in between. So when I hit generate checklist, and this one here I did with the manual. So when I hit generate checklist, our AI agents return values for us. So we have agent 1 gave us a draft, agent 2 gave us a draft, and these are the merged results. So this is the checklist it's giving us. So at this point, it's showing us what our checklist is going to be, and we can say, that's good, let's just go with it, and we can hit accept and send. But we also have the ability to look through here and decide if we want all of this information, right? If we, excuse me, if we say, okay, I don't really want my guys inspecting refrigerant line connections, or the condensate drain line is not something we need to check on our units. We can remove those, and then they won't go onto the checklist. We can also go through the two drafts that the AI gave us. There we go. We can go through the drafts that the AI agents gave us, and we can add items from the top into our merged results. So this is giving us the ability to edit our checklist before we actually create the checklist. Okay. Once we've gone through this and we said, yeah, okay, that's how I want it to look, I can hit accept and send, and now it shows it to us in the checklist definition entry. So I still have the ability, just like I always did with all of my other checklists, to edit any of these. I can take any of these task types. I can add additional tasks. I can edit these tasks. I can remove a task very easily, right? I can even move them around. excuse me. So I still have the ability to edit that checklist. So I'm using the AI to give me the checklist, but I'm not giving the AI the power to tell me what my checklist should be, just to make a suggestion. And then ultimately, I'm deciding what my checklist is. And if I got this far and I said, you know what, I don't like that, I can hit AI baseline checklist again and say yes and just start over. Right? So it makes things quicker in that I can feed it information and it can give me a suggestion. So it can give me a suggested checklist, give me some useful information, but it leaves me with enough control to make sure that the checklist that I'm getting is the one that I need. So that's really all I have to say about AI checklists. Does anybody have any questions?
And before the questions, Cory, do you still have a screenshot of one of the checklists? I just wanted to mention the very first task that's on all of them.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
very we understand AI and we understand AI is not perfection, and so there is a line at the top of these that you cannot strongly more recommend that you follow.
Yes, yes, exactly. The first line on every checklist is going to be this. This is AI generated checklist. Please review and verify before use. And you obviously would remove that before you hit save on your checklist. But that's just a reminder, like Matt said, we understand AI is not perfect. We're using it we're using it as a tool to give us a baseline for our checklists, but but it's not we're not letting it decide what our checklist is. You still should check through them, make sure they have everything you need, make sure they don't have anything you don't need, and and uh, and approve it before saving.
I'm not seeing any other questions, so I think it was pretty self-explanatory. So,
All right. Okay. And I just want to mention one more time, if the AI checklist generation is not in your system and you are interested in it, you can let us know, or you can reach out to your account manager or the support line, and your account manager will be able to work with you to make that happen. All right. The next tool that we have, and this one is in the DirectLine Mobile. And this one is the Help Me Fix It tool. So this one uses AI to generate troubleshooting suggestions based on the work description. It gives step-by-step guidance to help identify root causes. And these are, again, AI generated step-by-step, so it's suggested step-by-step guidance. It's designed specifically for mobile. It is only available in DirectLine Mobile. And we use a rating system. Every time you use it, there's a rating system where you can rate those troubleshooting steps, so it can be so that the tool can improve as it gets used. So it is very, very useful when you have new employees or new equipment that your employees have not worked with before, to help with troubleshooting. So on the DirectLine Mobile, when you have the action button, the little wrench in the bottom right hand corner, when we click on that, at the very bottom of our list, right? This is the same list whenever we would clock into a work order or edit the work order. Right at the bottom, we have the Help Me Fix This tool. Again, it has our little AI logo on it. When we click on that, it's going to analyze the work description, and it's going to give us a list of suggestions. Okay, so it's giving us it tells us what the assumptions or the requirements are, and then it gives us this step-by-step step-by-step list. Okay, it looks like a checklist, but it's not an actual checklist. It's not going to save this as a checklist anywhere. It's just giving you this list of steps, and you'll be able to check them off as you do them with these checkboxes. There's also a trash can on the right-hand side. So if you look at it and you say, no, AI, we don't want that, or that doesn't apply, you can hit the little trash can and take that step out of there. Once you've gone through those steps, we have a rating system at the bottom. So you're going to be able to use that rating system to decide if this was helpful or not. So let me show you how it works. This is our DirectLine Mobile in our demo system. I've got a work order here that says water heater has backdrafting issues. I don't know what that means because I'm not a plumber and know very little about water heaters. So I'm going to use a tool to help me fix it. I'm going to go down in the bottom right-hand corner and I'm going to hit the little action button. And I've got my help me fix this button down here. So I'm going to click on that. And now it's going to generate a list of steps for me. Right? So as I showed you before, for each item, we have checkboxes and we have a trash can. So if we see here, review boiler status, alarms, and recent shutdown history, well, we don't have any alarms. We can take that out. Wear PPE, yes, we did that. Check for immediate downtime risks. Yes, we did that. And we can go through like this and check these off as we go through them. If we went through this and we said, you know what, none of those steps were useful, we can hit regenerate and it will check with AI again and generate a new list for us. We understand that AI is not going to solve all of the problems. It's not going to give you the solution every time. But we're looking at this kind of like how when you have a problem and you're not sure what to do and you Google it. That's what we're doing here. We're giving you the opportunity to Google the problem or YouTube the problem right from within DirectLine Mobile by giving you written steps that you can check off as you go through them. And again, when you're done, if you did not find it helpful, you can rate it 1 star. If it helped you out, you can give it 5 stars. And the system will use that rating to learn and improve suggestions going forward. And that's the help me fix this option in our in DirectLine Mobile. As I said, it is only available in DirectLine Mobile. It's only available in the latest version of DirectLine Mobile. So if you don't have the very latest version, you won't see it in there, but I'm sure that your account manager can take care of that for you if need be. Does anybody have any questions?
No, and on top of questions, one thing we are looking from our clients, and we always are looking for this from our clients, but any feedback or thoughts you may have on maybe something you were thinking AI could be used for, or thoughts for the future, because it's a big focus on our R&D. So if there's questions you have about maybe what we might be doing or you'd like to see from us, please, let us know those as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a good idea to bring those up to ask, because if it's something that makes sense, then it may be something that we could put in place, or that we could look at least. Again, we're not using AI for the sake of AI. We're using AI in places where it makes sense and where we feel it will provide value for our clients So we put it in for checklists. We put it into the help me fix this. And if you'll always see anytime a new AI feature is added, you'll always see that AI icon. We're keeping that consistent so everybody knows exactly what parts of the system are using AI. All right. If there aren't any questions, then I won't take up any more of your time. The I will post the recording for this. The recording of this webinar will be on YouTube probably by tomorrow morning. By the time I get it posted. I will send an email with the link to everyone who attended or everyone who accepted the invite. I'll send the recording out, and you can feel free to share it with anyone you want. And as I said, it'll be on YouTube along with the recordings of all of our previous webinars and about 100 or so training videos on our YouTube channel, which is just Megamation. So thank you all very much for joining. I hope you got something useful from here, and we'll talk to you again probably in another 2 months with another webinar. Thank you all very much and have a great day.
Thank you, everybody.